Morning students. Today our section starts with another section of this neurophysiology topic, that is neuronal disorders, and with this section we can finish this chapter by today. So in neural disorder, the first disorder we are going to talk about is epilepsy. Epilepsy. What is epilepsy? Epilepsy, its Malayalam is Janni. നമ്മൾ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലേ epilepsy. So, what is epilepsy? It is an excessive activity of central nervous system. Central nervous system means what? Brain plus spinal cord. So, in central nervous system, there are certain group of neurons that will initiate certain action potential and propagate them. And also some other group of neurons exist that neurons function is to inhibit that action potential's propagation after a particular time. So in some abnormal condition, that inhibition will not happen and the propagation of action potential continued for long without any restriction. That is an abnormal condition. That's an excessive active condition of central nervous system. In such condition occurs seizures. Seizures means the irregular jerking movement of the whole body parts. And that jerking irregular movement on the site of that, it creates a panic mood in the spectators. We may get panic on seeing that. And also it is a transient condition. Transient condition means it's not a permanent. It will not continue for a long time in normal situations. If it is continued for a long time, then only we need to take the assistance of doctor or I need to take him to the hospital. So, and more likely the epilepsy is common in younger children or older people of age above 65 years. And what first aid we need to give for a person if we happen to see a person develop seizures? What first aid we need to give? First, we get panic. First thing is that, because on the very side that jerking movements is enough to create a panic emotion in us. So don't be panicked and remove all harmful objects that can harm that person because of the jerking movement. Because that person's body is abnormally jerking, and because of jerking movements, if something hard objects or harmful objects is situated near to his body, it may fall on his body and cause injury to that person or patient. So we need to remove any harmful objects from his vicinity. And the third one, we need to loosen his dresses to ease his breathing. We must not restrain his movement. So that is the fourth point. And also keep some soft substrate under his head. That also doing to prevent injury for head as it is jerking. Then after that jerking movements are settled down, then we need to tilt the patient to one side. Patient 2 T is missed here. Okay, tilt to one side, and also we need to tilt and raise his head upward to back direction to ease his breathing. These are the first aid we have to do on the very side of a person having seizure. So next slide we are going to see a video all these things. The first day we need to go what the changes happening in a person how is developing seizures. Okay, here's the video.
relax. Don't panic, just move back.
Move any potentially harmful object out of harm's way to prevent injury. Do not restrain the person and give him or her head support. After the seizure ends, move the person onto the side. Tilt his or her head back to protect against choking from possible vomiting. How to give emergency medical aid to seizure patients. Move any potentially harmful objects out of harm's way to prevent injury. Do not restrain him or her from moving. Provide head support and wait for the attack to end. After the seizure attack eases, move the person onto the side and tilt his or her head back to prevent choking.
Next is about some do's and don'ts that we have to listen on the very side of some person to develop seizures. Okay, that's about that video. We can go to next slide. Next neuronal disorder is Alzheimer's. It's a common thing that we are often hearing from cinemas, and also happen to read from some magazines. Everything. Anyway, it's familiar condition. Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's means loss of memory. What is Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's means the premature aging of brain. Is a neurodegenerative disorder. What is Alzheimer's? It is called. What is Alzheimer's? To that point, we need to answer like it is a premature aging of brain and also neurodegenerative disorder. Next point is about the symptoms. Symptoms. How can we recognize that the person is going to have Alzheimer's? Loss of memory, and then deterioration of language skills. Language skills, in using the language, also some deterioration happens. It is discovered by German psychiatrist Alois Alzheimer. And what's the reason for this Alzheimer's disease? It is mainly because of the accumulation of a substance, beta amyloid peptide. What is it? Beta amyloid, AMYLOID, amyloid peptide. Where it is accumulating in the brain? It is mainly accumulating in brain's cerebral cortex in this portion, and also in basal ganglia. Basal ganglia means here, and also then hippocampus region, and then cerebellum, thalamus, mainly in all these areas. What is accumulating? Beta amyloid peptide. Because of its accumulation, that person develops going to get that Alzheimer's disease. And when this condition get worse, when that Alzheimer's condition was, that person develop hypertension, high BP, or diabetes, or hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipidemia means high levels of particles in blood. Or if that Alzheimer's patient start to develop all these abnormalities, then his condition get worse. That's about Alzheimer's disease. Next, Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's also somewhat similar to Alzheimer's. Here, mainly a lack of coordination is happening. What is Parkinson's disease? It's a progressive degenerative disorder of brain. It's the progressive degeneration of brain. Degenerative disorder of brain. And its symptoms. What are its symptoms? Here also tremors. Tremors means that tremor means virile. We can see in the mainly this abnormal condition in old people while they're attempting to take something, their hand will shiver. Tremor. That's one symptom. Then walking difficulty, is unable to walk properly, and difficulty to movement and coordination, because if that particular person attempt to take something, he is unable to hold it properly and it may fall down. All these things also are symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And time of onset, when it usually happens, what is the situation, in which of the people this Parkinson's disease is usually develops? Mostly in elder ones, older peoples, the are more chance to develop, have more chance to develop this Parkinson's disease, and it's very rarely observed in younger ones, and is discovered by English doctor James Parkinson. And what's the main cause of this Parkinson disease? Main cause, it is caused by the depletion in the amount of dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical secreted by neurons. It's a depletion in the amount of dopamine. This dopamine controls the muscle movement. Because of the less amount of dopamine, that person cannot send messages to have a proper muscle function and become unable to perform coordination, muscle coordination. That is the main cause for. What's the reason? Depletion or the reduced level of dopamine in the body. Dopamine is secreted by certain neurons, and this dopamine controls muscle movement. And when the dopamine level is lowered in the body cannot send messages to the muscle to have a proper muscle function. So with this we finish neurophysiology. Thank you.